Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. I'll start this one off though with kind of an interesting story. I was hooking up a whole bunch of systems here to my setup because I now have my TV up on the wall. I have a stereo receiver and all this kind of good stuff. I've got, my speakers up. You can see there's like speakers up in the corners there. So I've got a lot of the things that I was trying to get set up and I'm sort of waiting on to get all my systems plugged in. Now, I'm still missing a few bits and pieces here to kind of set it up the way that I want it to be. So, just hooking up things sort of as for the time being kind of thing. So I hooked up some of my more modern stuff, like I hooked up the Wii, I hooked up an Xbox 360, I decided to plug in Super Nintendo just to see how it looked on the new TV, and a variety of other things like that. And one of the systems that I plugged in was a PlayStation 2 Slim. Now, I got all of my PlayStation 2 Slims via thrift shops and things like that, so you can't always count on the reliability of them. The systems themselves work perfectly fine, but when I sort of rigged this PS2 into my system, it had some issues. Like there was a lot of static and things like that on the screen. You can still see the image, you can still hear the audio perfectly, but there was some sort of noise going on basically on the screen, like a lot of lines and things like that, and they would sort of travel up the screen and then they'd come up again kind of idea, and I was running some interference from somewhere and I couldn't quite figure it out. So I checked all my video cables, all this kind of stuff. I basically had spent the whole night though setting up all that stuff, and then I came to the realization, I thought I'd just check out a game or something like that. So I was playing on that PS2, even with the line issue, I just kind of got used to it and sort of ignored it, and I was playing a game on the PS2. And then after about 30 minutes, the power for the PS2 just completely shut off. And a few seconds later, there was this big spark, and you could just see like sort of like a spark ball kind of fly out of the power supply for it. So, I kind of unplugged everything, and the rest of my system's totally fine, so it didn't blow up like, my new TV, or it didn't ruin anything. Basically, it was just the power supply. This one right here actually is the one that blew up, so it smells burnt, so it's pretty much toast. Luckily I had a backup one though, but I thought that was kind of interesting because that was sort of a, I finished sort of setting it up, it was late at night, and I was just kind of throwing in like half an hour of gaming there, and and I got a good spark show out of it. So just so you know, when you go thrifting, sometimes these things can't be counted on, especially in the case of this particular AC adapter. So this one here will end up going in the trash, but it didn't fry the system or anything. I had a backup power supply, and I put that one in there, and or plugged it into that one rather, and away it went. There was no static noise on the TV anymore, and all that kind of good stuff. So it was just a faulty AC adapter. The next thing that I'll actually get into are my actual pickups. I just thought I'd start off with that little story there. But I got a couple of more Skylanders here, and they're from the Giants ones. They're not actually the Swap Force ones, but I kind of wanted to add them into my collection, and one of them actually helps me finish off, or get close to finishing off, my Giants collection. But the first one here is sort of a variant, and I'm not a huge collector of variants. If I see them, I'll get them, but if I'm not going out and seeking them out or things like that. I'm not looking for like the uber rare ones or something like that where it's like a blue, like translucent blue or whatever. I'm not looking for that kind of thing, but I did see this variant and I figured I'd pick it up just because I did spot it in the wild, and it's Granite Crusher. So normally Crusher looks a little bit different than this. It's just a different color scheme on him basically. I don't think he plays any differently. I don't think his powers are any different, but pretty cool variant right there. I actually like the look of this one a little bit better, so I decided to pick that guy up. Now the next one I am so pumped about. I thought I was going to have to shell out like the $30 people are asking for on Kijiji for it, because I could not find this particular character anywhere. Kind of hard to find for some reason, but I have the first issue of this character, so I didn't really feel the need to spend, you know, like $30 or $35 or $40 what people were looking on Craigslist and things like that. And it's this one here, and I'm so happy to get it because I thought I'd never come across it, and I actually did. And I found it in a store, which was really kind of strange that it was actually in there, and there was only one of these sitting there. But without further ado, I'll show you this guy right now. And it's Bash from the Giants, so it's the second series Bash. Really wicked. For some reason, Bash kind of skyrocketed in price, I guess, from the fact that it was kind of hard to find. So I'd never actually seen him out there before. Really happy to find him. His paint job's awesome on this one too. So they only had one of them sitting in the store. Couldn't believe it when I found Bash. Fairly unbelievable. The next set of games that I'll show you here all came together as one lot, which wasn't from Craigslist, it wasn't from Kijiji, it wasn't off of eBay or anything like that. Actually, it's a group that my wife is involved in on Facebook and things like that, different social groups, and she found this in one of those groups. So someone was trying to get rid of some of these games, and she swiped them all up for me. They all came to $25, and I'll show you what I got right now. The actual games, though, are for a system that I don't even have yet. I'm going to be looking for a power-based converter, I think, instead of actually purchasing one of these systems, just to cut down on the amount of systems that I have in my collection, just because it's getting kind of full down here. So, without further ado, though, I'll get into the games. This is for the Sega Master System. Great baseball, and this cartridge is in great shape, as well as the manual. So that's awesome right there. Not a huge sports collector, but this is sort of the first of these games. I'll show you the rest of them. The next one is California Games. I do recall this one, I believe, because my buddy did have a Sega Master System back in the day, and I believe this one had hacky sack in it, and I distinctly recall that, although there's no images of that on the back there. The next one is a title that I'm more than willing to check out. It's a racing game. It's Enduro Racer. Pretty cool right there. Again, let's just check this out. Totally complete. Wicked shape as well. Hang tab and everything on there. The next game here is Hang On and Safari Hunt. You can see that right there. And it's in excellent shape, as well as are all of these. Pretty sweet. And there it is there, though, totally complete as well. Manual's in great shape. These look like almost new. They must have either taken good care of them, or maybe this guy's a collector or something like that. I'm not totally certain. The next thing that I picked up, and this is actually a Sega card game. It's F-16 Fighter. And I've seen this go by different names. Can't remember the other names of this one. But again, that one's complete. Can't remember the other names for this game, but that's the version I have anyways, or the variant I have. Looks kind of interesting. I don't know if I'd totally get into it. If I was going to play a flight game, it probably wouldn't be this one. The next one is a pretty popular series, and this would be one of the first ones of it. Outrun. There it is right there. And again, totally complete, which is really awesome for these games. The last two games are pretty cool. The first one that I'll show you here is Double Dragon. And this one also is complete. Pretty awesome right there. I can't wait to check that out. I mean, you know, epic series kind of thing, Double Dragon. All those games, wicked. The next one here, and the final one, is Wonder Boy. And that's also complete. And if you know this one, Adventure Island would be the NES equivalent of this, but I think this was probably the original one. So pretty wicked to get this one here. And again, all of these are in immaculate shape. Like there's barely, you know, a ding in any of them. It's so awesome, the shape that they're in. So really happy to pick all of these ones up. That's it for my pickup video though. Not a whole lot of stuff this time around. You know, it's around the holiday season, so haven't really been out doing too much, but I thought I'd show you that. I'm really happy with those Skylanders that I picked up. Really pleased with this lot here for 25 bucks, and you can't beat that. Really, those 8 games. So, you know, as usual, thank you guys all for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, and I will see you all later.